Hello, thank you for checking out A1 Math, and today we're looking at graphing inequalities. Here's my steps for graphing inequalities. Step 1, pick your line type. If it's equal to, pick a solid line. If it's not equal to, pick a dashed line. Okay, so if you have the equal to sign, you want to make sure your line is solid. If it's not there, you want to make sure your line is dashed. Step 2, graph the equation. It's an inequality, but graph it like an equation using that line, whether solid or dashed. Step 3, you want to shade your graph. So if it's greater than, shade above, and if it's less than, shade below. Okay. Now, the first thing I want to do is make sure we understand when to use a dash or a solid line. So let's take a look at some problems here. So 1 through 8, I want you to see which one is dash or solid. Remember, if it has the equal to sign, then it is solid. And if it does not, then it's dash. Okay, let's take a look at the answers. Okay, now if you understand this and got most of these correct, you're well on your way as far as the first step is concerned with graphing inequalities. Let's take a look at some examples. So I've abbreviated our steps here. The first step again is pick your line type. Then you're going to graph the equation, and then you're going to shade your graph. So picking a line type, since I have the equal then sign, then it's going to be a solid. Step 2, I'm going to go ahead and graph the equation. So I take this expression here and went ahead and graphed the equation using that solid line. Step 3, I want to go ahead and shade it. So since it is greater than, I'm going to shade above. So I'm going to shade it above my line. One way to remember that is if you look at the graph as a slide and think about it, it's greater fun to slide down the slide and less fun to be up under it. Let's take a look at another example. Okay, now here, I want to go through my steps again. I want to pick my line type, but this one you do not have the equal then sign, so we're going to use a dash line. All right, next we're going to go ahead and graph the equation using that dash line. Okay, and finally what we want to do is shade the graph. Well, since it is less than, with the less than symbol, we're going to go below. Okay, so that is graphing inequality. Let's take a look at one more example. Okay, here it's not set to y equal, and if you have trouble graphing when it's not in y equal, you want to go ahead and set it to y equal mx plus b and put it in slope intercept form. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Basically what you want to do is you take your problem here. You want to subtract the x part on both sides, then divide the y part, and now you have your equation. All right, and then what you want to do is go ahead and follow the 3 steps here. You want to pick your line type. Now, on this one here, your line type is going to be um, less than. And it's important to pay attention because when you divide by that -3, it's going to change your sign around. So you always want to be aware of that. Anytime you divide by a -3, it's going to change your sign. Or not -3, but any negative. Multiplying or dividing by any negative is going to change your sign. Okay, now we have y is less than 8 over 3x plus 3. Okay, and the line type we're going to pick is going to be dash because we do not have an equal to sign. So then we graph that line and make sure we put dashes here. And our last step, we're going to shade your graph. So since it's less than again, we want to shade below. Okay, and that is graphing an inequality. I want to thank you for checking out A1 Math and have a nice day.